to Babies and Me. I'm gonna make a short video because I know when you have a baby, you just want to grab all the information and go. Because your little one needs all your attention, and even if you're not pregnant, having a baby and you're pregnant, it simply means that you still just want to grab all the information that you could get. And I understand, because I do have a 1-year-old, and I remember when I wanted to find out a lot of information, it took me a long time to gather the information because everybody was talking about all sort of different things before they got to the important point. So let's talk about eczema. Now, my baby had eczema from he was a baby, unfortunately. The thing is, I went to the doctor because I saw him having like bumps all over his body and his skin and everything like that. And I was more like saying to myself, this isn't normal. But the doctor was trying to convince me that, hey, listen, it's acne. No. When they talk about acne, the first thing you want to think about is the fact that maybe my baby has eczema. It could be acne, but my baby had it all over his body. So acne, normally, that I know of, acne appears in the face and not so much all over the body. So when I heard that, I was quite disappointed, because I felt like the doctor did not diagnose my baby right. But I do know it's kind of hard to tell if it's acne or not. So pretty much you probably saying to yourself, okay, so it's acne because the doctor said acne. Well, let me prepare you, it might be eczema. So let's go on to thinking about, so when you see the bumps, the first thing I would do, now that I have experienced that, is basically starting to change his routine. Like, in terms of, if I used to like bathing with a certain type of soap once for the day, I would probably start to change the soap. And you want to change things gradually so that you can identify, because it's hard to identify things that cause eczema. So for example, the lady was just looking at me for no reason, but so my baby was allergic to oatmeal, and what was recommended to me by the doctor is basically using Aveeno products. Now Aveeno has oats in there, and I think that was one of my main thing. And what I did was, that was the first doctor. Now my second doctor say, hey, maybe it's just the milk, maybe he has eczema. So I actually had changed my doctor. That's another thing you may want to do. Change your doctor. If you think that the doctor is not listening to you in the way that you think they should, probably it's a time to just change your doctor. So the doctor that I found, she's a very good doctor. She basically say that, this seems like it's eczema. And I think the first thing that we should think about is if he's allergic to milk. Now it turns out I don't think my baby's allergic to milk even now, but the reason I cannot identify it so much is the fact that he is I want to say that he is what do you call it now, he always have bumps on his skin. So the thing is, even though he has the bumps, the only time I can know if the thing is really he's really allergic to it is if he eats it Like say today, by tomorrow morning he has bumps all over his face and his body and his basically all over his skin. So that's because every time I give him oatmeal, I would notice this. And a lot of people say, oh, why don't you try the oatmeal bath? And, you know, why don't you try this? Or why don't you try that? And when you do try it, I even heard about bleach bath. Listen, I went to the doctor told me about bleach bath. Listen. I know that some persons, their skin is so bad, like it's actually peeling off and it's red and everything like that. I don't know too much about that kind of eczema, but I want to say that my child eczema was very bad. But what I want to say is, you see, that eczema, you don't want to use chemicals on your child. I mean, remember, chemicals cause cancer. And if you don't care and you just want to, you know, make your baby look good, then I guess maybe, but I wouldn't recommend that, you know, because why would you want to put cancer on your baby? You know, I'm not saying it could be any other thing that the baby could get. It could be cancer, it could be any other thing, but the main thing I always think about is cancer. So whenever I'm giving something to my baby or applying anything to my baby, I think about cancer, and I don't want my baby to get cancer. So I didn't quite listen to that doctor. I didn't do what she asked me to do. I kind of like switched her. She was an allergist, so you know. When the moment she talked about bleach, I knew I had to change her, because that's her remedy. That's the way how she that's her technique, and her technique was not working with me. So, but anyway, eventually I find another doctor. She wasn't an allergist, but she was a skin doctor, and she told me a lot of things that really helped my baby. And I appreciate her so very much. She is an amazing doctor, just like my pediatrician. My pediatrician is an amazing doctor, and they just guided me in the right direction, and I love them to death. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Now, but okay, so the mistakes that I made was the fact that I was just trying everything all at once. I tried this, I tried that, and I wasn't trying them in intervals, and at a certain period of time I was just, because remember, with eczema, it can be internal, it can be external. I have people telling me that, hey, I just touch it and I go all crazy all over my skin. I just smell it and I go all crazy. So allergy is a hard thing to predict, and so you don't know what exactly your child is going to be allergic to. So what you want to do is, the first thing is, see if it's milk allergy, like what my doctor told me. If you want to ask your, because I'm not a doctor, so if you want to talk to your doctor, you know, if you want to find your allergist or pediatric allergists, you could go ahead and do that. But when I did that, I just basically didn't stick to them. I didn't stick to the allergists at all. I started to find out a way by myself, because I'm the one that's dealing with my baby by myself. So I had to figure it out by myself. And by doing that, I started to watch him so very closely with food. The first thing I introduced to my baby was banana. Good old sweet banana. I know, I mean, after that I found out that, you know, it's better to introduce like vegetables to your babies, which is a better idea. If your baby's having bumps and stuff like that, I would suggest when he turns 6 months old, you try to give that baby vegetables. Start off. And I'm gonna have another video talking about foods to give the baby, especially an allergic baby, because you want to give them a certain type of way. And an allergic baby, I'm gonna tell you the truth with my baby, the allergic baby will almost immediately have a reaction. And that's what I realized. When your baby is not that allergic to something, when you give it to them, it's not really going to show the same time. But if they're really allergic to it, it's gonna just blow up like out of nowhere. It's just gonna psh. So what you want to do is, if you're doing, you want to try to do the treatment on the skin first before he turns 6 months, to find out what works with his skin. Because if he turns 6 months, that's if he's having an allergic reaction before the 6 months. If in fact he's not having an allergic reaction, and when it's 6 months and going up he starts to have an allergic reaction, then it's going to be a little bit harder for you to identify. But if he's having the reaction from before the 6 months, what you want to do is try the skin one first, as well as the milk allergy. The reason I say the skin one first, because not all babies are allergic to milk. They may be just allergic to oatmeal, you know, a product that you're using, something within the product. So my doctor had recommended that I use Vanicream. There are other kinds. I'm gonna attach like the Vanicream that I use, but there are other kinds of Vanicreams that has different ointments in there and stuff like that. You want to go the natural route. You don't want to go another route. And the other thing that I found on the internet for myself that works for myself, because I usually use only like Vaseline on my skin, my baby skin. At one point I only could use Vaseline because I didn't understand, and everything else that I used on his skin, he was just breaking out, just like really bad, and he would itch all the time, and I had to put on like the wet wraps, you know, put on like a wet clothes on him and put it in like dry clothes, you know, like that, because my doctor had recommended that. So but that wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. To keep on putting something wet, especially in the cold time, you want to put on something wet, you know, on your child, and because they could get like maybe fever or something. Some persons say, you know, try baking soda bath. I tried that, but every method I tried, I didn't stay long enough with the method to figure out if that was really what was causing his eczema. So if you're going to try it for 3 or 4 days on a particular area, and when you try it on the area for 3 or 4 days, and if it doesn't bump, because you got to find a clear area of the skin, if it doesn't affect that area when you apply it, if you want to try to apply it for the whole week, you can. If it doesn't affect that area, it simply means that the child is not allergic to it, and then you can apply it to the whole body. Hydrocortisone cream usually works for everyone. I know it worked for my baby, but it was lightening out his skin, and he had different patch of colors on his skin. And for me, I didn't like that. I don't think that was good for the baby's skin. And so and that was 1%. Hydrocortisone 1% is, I think it's pretty good to use. I don't know in terms of the chemical base, like how much chemical it has inside there, but it's very good for the baby, you know. But for me, it was just lightening up my baby skin, and I really didn't like that, how it was. And so I tried to find other things. So the way how you do it is basically you just apply it to the skin. And so like I told you, I'm gonna put everything that not everything that I tried, but everything that actually worked, because I'm trying to make this video very small. I know I keep on saying that, and I know the time is going, but I just want to get it all the way. So anyways, moving forward, I want to talk a little bit about, you know, the fact that not only do you apply stuff to the skin. So if you have, with eczema, the skin tends to dry out a lot, and when it dries out, it itches a lot. So you want to always make his skin moisturized, his or her skin moisturized. So what you want to do is, you want to rub the lotion on his skin, or whatever you're using on the skin, with whether it's Vaseline until you can find the right product, you want to keep on adding it to the skin so it doesn't dry the skin out. And Vaseline tend to it's just a base for the skin. It doesn't quite, I want to say it doesn't work very well in terms of the dryness, but it helps to protect the skin. And I'm gonna tell you the truth, it helps so much to protect the skin. When a baby have eczema, I would say bathe the baby day and night, because you know, if it's an outside allergy and it's on the skin, you want to make sure you get rid of whatever is on the skin. You don't want it to stay on the skin, you want to get it off. So bathing the baby frequently, but not too frequently, because you don't want, because water can dry out the skin also, so you don't want the water to dry out the skin. And you want to also apply at least 3 different kinds of ointment. So like for me, I bathe my baby in Vanicream, but when I'm applying stuff to his skin, I apply sometimes I use the Vanicream, the lotion, and I'm gonna show you the lotion, and I apply coconut oil, and I apply Vaseline. You need to apply more than one product on the skin to get the skin saturated and nice, because a person who has eczema skin, when it dries out like way different than a normal person who doesn't have eczema. Do you understand what I'm saying? So they need extra of whatever it is, extra. Now if your baby skin is not that bad with drying out with the eczema, because they don't have it very bad, then you may not need so much. But if they have it very bad, like my son, you need to apply. And by applying, the skin will start to soak it in, and you know, it'll start to look so much better. So that's I'm sorry, I just really have to drink something. So the laundry soap, we're going to skip to laundry soap now. We want to talk about the laundry soap. Never use anything with fragrance, okay? Try not to use your perfumes, nothing with fragrance, because you don't know what affects the baby. So the fragrance are normally sometimes hidden in the laundry soap, even though it doesn't say it says it doesn't have fragrance. For example, Drift, I find that with Drift says it's for, you know, it doesn't have any, but when you use Drift, you smell the fragrance, and I'm telling you. And so a nurse told me, hey, why don't you try all? And I've tried all, and it worked out so very well for my baby. I know it says stain lifter in there, and it was like super like thinking myself, maybe I shouldn't use it because it's a stain lifter that's in there, but it actually didn't smell. If you're using a laundry soap and it's it says that it doesn't smell, and you use it and it really does, I mean, it says that it doesn't have any perfume, fragrance and stuff like that, and you're using it and it smells, stop using it. Because it's a high possibility, if you're using it, it doesn't affect the child, fine, but it's a high possibility that may be what the problem is. So when you're using it, you just stop using all sort of stuff, the whole family. I can understand if he goes to daycare or stuff like that, it's gonna be hard not to, you know, to tell the person, hey, you can wear this or whatever on my child, but try to eliminate it as much as you possibly can, even especially if the child lives with you. If the child lives with you on a daily basis, and when I say that, because I know some persons, you know, they may have to go to grandma for a couple of days, or say they're with you 24/7 for the day, that which would be better. Everybody that lives in the household cannot wear cannot use anything else than what the baby is using, to be honest. It's gonna be hard. Some people and if they do use it, just wash it real good, like your clothes and stuff like that, so it get rid of all that perfume and stuff. Like, limit the perfume use as much as you can. So your bed linens, your clothes and stuff like that. I had it pretty hard because everybody else around me kind of just like using perfume and stuff like that, but he was mostly with me by myself. So I mean, at home with me, because I don't have like a daycare. So that was good for me because I was able to identify even quicker certain things. So so you just want to look out for things like that. I'm trying to think what else I wanted to say, because I didn't get to, I wrote down something, but I didn't get to like carry it with me right now. And I said, hey, let me just go ahead and make a very short video. And so I can't remember anything else right now, but what I'll do is, if I have to make another video on eczema, then I will. But for right now, just make sure that you think about every single thing that goes on with your child's skin, and your child hair. Even in the hair, if you're applying anything to the hair, I would say coconut oil, because you want to make sure that it is safe for your baby. And if your baby starts to break out in rashes and stuff like that, then you can apply the wraps and stuff like that. I would suggest that if it's very, very bad, that you get a pediatric allergist recommended by your doctor, and then you could proceed from there. But my doctor put me on like an ointment routine, because she tried one ointment, he broke out, and then she tried another ointment, I think he broke out again. He just kept on breaking out. Every time I applied, he just kept on breaking out, and I was applying it to the whole body. But for me, that's another thing I wanted to say also, is that when you give the baby food, right, and the baby eats the food, and he has like a burst of reaction, because that's one of the reasons I stopped using like the chemical every single day, as in the ointment, the chemical, I call it chemical, every single day, was the fact that I gave the baby the food. I gave the baby the food, and he was like allergic to banana, egg, and stuff like that. So when I waited until like when he was 1 year old to try the banana again, which I didn't see a reaction to the banana. But the first time I tried the banana, he went all crazy. So this time when they eat it, what happened is that it goes like, he'll have a reaction like the very next day all over his body, and then it would stay for maybe, I would want to say, a week. Because the thing is, whatever is inside of the body, it stays in the body for at least a week. So you'll see the bumps on his or her skin, for like a week, until it goes away. It'll go away. Don't worry about it. It'll go away. Unless it's like very, very bad and it's breaking out, falling off, tearing out. I see some pictures, I'm like, oh my god, I thought my child was worse, because my child only have bumps, like serious bumps, and he itches a lot and scratches the skin, and it bleeds, and it all that bad stuff. But I've seen some pictures where the whole skin looks like it's peeling off and stuff like that. So I would recommend that you stick closely to your pediatrician and your doctors in terms of that, because I don't know. And if you've tried like the remedies I'm telling you about and it doesn't help, it simply means that your child probably needs deeper attention, like by medical um, doctors. But if your child is bad and stuff like that, and you're trying remedies, natural remedies, and it's working, stick to the natural remedies, I would say, because then it will help your child. You understand what I'm saying? You know, because like I said, it's so sad for us to be always having to apply the chemical, the hydrocortisone cream, the this and that. But sometimes I do have to apply the hydrocortisone cream on my son because he scratches like crazy sometimes in the night, and when he wakes up, the whole of his skin. But remember, it will not last. It will come again, because if he eats something that he's allergic to, it will come again, but it will not last. It will go away. My son, it doesn't go away. He always have bumps, but he has small little bumps here, a little bit bumps there, and I'm fine with that. I'm gonna tell you the truth. At first I was like, oh freaking out, but when I see that it has like a bursa reaction, I was like so happy with the little bumps I see on him. So it's just your preference, I guess, and how you think that you should go about doing it. But I'm trying to like just telling you my experience. And another thing, there is no cure for eczema. There is no cure for eczema. Why I say that? I know when I went online, you know, a lot of people say, oh, you know, there is cure for eczema, but there is no cure for eczema. It will always come back once they have some sort of reaction to whatever it is, and it could be something new. They could be in their adult stage. And I had eczema when I was younger, but I didn't know it was eczema. And the side right here always get bumpy, and I always have to scratch it. And even I bought a food the other day and it came back up. But the point is, I got over the eczema. I mean, it got better for me because I would go on my daily life routine and I wouldn't have a reaction, but very rare I really do. So it's pretty much and doctors will say, oh, they'll grow out of it. No, your baby's not gonna grow out of it. He may grow out of the many episodes that he's having, but he's not gonna grow out of it, because once you have eczema, you'll always have eczema. Because think about it, if you're allergic to something and you're passing it, and that's the way what we normally have a reaction, then you're going to always have that reaction, doesn't matter what happens. So just be careful with who says what to you. Do your thorough research like I did, but try not to but like I said, you know, I try to give you as much tips that I can and tell you, you know, the experiences that I've had, and I'm gonna, you know, just add as much information that I can add at the end of the video. So if you want to go ahead and keep on watching, then you can. But don't forget to subscribe to my videos, you know, because I'm just gonna keep on coming at you with the videos so that it helps you be prepared a little bit more about eczema and food, eczema and this, eczema and that, and you'll just have a better understanding of what, because I had to do like a thorough review, research. I had to do like a thorough research, and it was just ongoing. So I hope that you find this video very helpful. And like I said, if I have to post another video, leave your comments at the bottom. If I have to post another video, I will post it with more information if you need it. And just don't be afraid to tell, because, you know, an eczema mom to another eczema mom, or eczema mom to another eczema dad. And when I say that, I mean like your child having eczema. And sometimes this can help even the adults too, because sometimes, you know, you grow up into adults and you're just experiencing a lot of things and you just don't know what to do. This is the video to watch. So thank you for watching my video. I will, like I said, send out more video. Leave the comments below. Please subscribe and just have yourself a wonderful day.